Welcome to the Beacon by Soul 33, teachings for your past, present and future. Good morning everyone. It is the 10th of April and I am here in Boulder, Colorado, the United States of America. Now, if you are listening to this on YouTube, please don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. Please share and let people know that these Monday Mantra energy forecasts exists. It helps me to grow this platform of the app and what I do and create more resources for you. If you're listening on Spotify or on the Beacon app, please also share, tag me on your stories when you're meditating or pulling a card or listening to the Monday mantras. Every little share really, really helps. So yes, I am in America at the moment, and it's been a very, very interesting time. I am here on business. Soul 33 is spreading out a little bit, and more will be revealed when I am able to reveal. However, it's all very exciting things. So last week we set the Monday mantra as I release expectations and allow things to grow from a place of passion. I release expectations and allow things to grow from a place of passion. Now I have a lot to tell you about this because I'm here in the United States because of what I'm passionate about, which is Soul 33 and what I do. And I want to tell you about my journey here. So I shared as much as I could and was able to on my travels, and I stopped over in Tahiti as my transit, arrived in Los Angeles. Now, those of you who have been to America, immigration is always a very interesting process when you arrive in the United States. And I want to share with you the amazing experience I had. So it's quite a long walk from the plane to immigration. Got to immigration, there were no lines, everyone was empty. So I scanned and I went up to this woman, scanned with my eyes, who did I want to go to? And I went up to this woman and, she's fully in her uniform and she's like, okay, so why are you here in America? So I told her I'm here for business. And it was hilarious because I told her what I was there for. And this is a fully uniformed, wonderful woman. She stands up and she pulls all her crystals out of her pocket. And she says to me, oh my God, what you are talking about is right up my alley. Please write down your app for me. Now, let me tell you, I've been to America many, many times. This is not a typical immigration situation. And we spoke for ages to the point where she's like, oh my God, I need to actually do my job and ask you the questions that my job requires me to. And she was amazing. And she just, she was like, have a wonderful time and good luck with your trip. And so it was a wonderful experience. And then I ended up getting my bag. So this was all done really, really quickly. Getting my bag and going outside, and my phone just wouldn't roam. Now I have a new phone, it just wouldn't roam. And I went and sat on the little bus that you have to take to go to the Uber area. Now I didn't know any of this when I arrived. I just got here and went outside and thought, all right, I'm going to figure it out. And the guy was like, are you wanting an Uber? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, okay, well, you need to get on this bus. And I was like, well, where does the bus go? And he said, well, it goes to where you get Ubers from. So I was thinking, this is going to be great. I've got no roaming. I'm going to lose the airport Wi-Fi. But I was like, I'll figure it out. So I got on the bus and then still trying to roam, switching off my phone, data roaming on, trying to call Vodafone, couldn't call them, just saying there's no signal, there's no networks. And I was thinking, what is going on? Then as the universe has conspired all this, an amazing immigration officer who was very, very spiritually inclined, sat on the bus, and then a couple sat in front of me, and they happened to be Kiwis. And so this is what I hear the lady say, oh, I can't connect, my roaming's not working, to her husband. And I said to her, look, I don't mean to eavesdrop, but neither is mine. And so she said, oh God, okay. And so she got through to Vodafone, and the guy, she put it on speakerphone, even though she had an iPhone and I've got a Samsung. She put it on a speaker so that I could hear what was going on. Vodafone's not Vodafone anymore, is it? It's one network, I think. So anyway, I managed to follow some instructions. Roaming for both of us, still not working. So the Uber place is quite a distance from the airport. So we get there, it was cold in LA. I've never felt LA this cold. So I was sitting there and the couple could go because her husband had roaming. They're like, are you going to be okay? I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine. I'll work this out. So anyway, I was sitting there and I was texting someone here in LA going, look, that's because I'd figured out I could connect still to the airport Wi-Fi. So that was after about half an hour. I figured out that the airport Wi-Fi could still get network from where I was. So I had to text my friend and say, look, you might have to call me an Uber because I just can't roam. Called a Vodafone, was on the phone with them for half an hour. And so I had to book an Uber. So I was sitting there at the Uber place for about an hour and 15 minutes. And I had time to kill because my check-in for my Airbnb wasn't till 2 p.m. It's now about 12 or 12:30. And so I messaged my contact here and said, look, I'm going to call an Uber, but I'm going to completely lose connection. And you'll have to let the Airbnb people that I know that I'm on the way because I just can't even text. I can't do anything. So finally, an hour and a half later, about 1:45, I get in an Uber and I get to my Airbnb, and fortunately, I could text at that time, but roaming still wasn't working properly. It was almost like my phone was slowly integrating to being somewhere new and doing something different. They let me into my Airbnb early, which was great because it was a long flight. I had a shower and then I hadn't eaten or had anything to drink, so I started walking. Now, walking without roaming is not a great thing. I had to stop so many people. Fortunately, people are very, very friendly. Had to stop a million people to ask which direction because I was trying to get to Erewhon and Venice Beach. So Erewhon is a really great health food market that does like a hot food bar and all of that. And so what would have been probably a 40-minute walk from my apartment ended up being an hour and a half. And this lovely English lady who was on a scooter with her kids, I ended up stopping her and I said, look, I'm a tourist. But she said, so am I. I said, but I'm a tourist without roaming. And she said, oh. So she hot-spotted from her phone to mine and gave me the map to Erewhon, which finally got me there. But because I was so tired, I ordered my food, I ate it, and I was thinking, if I have to figure out how to walk home now, I'm actually just going to sit on the side of the road and cry. But luckily, I was able to book an Uber. They didn't have public Wi-Fi, and I was thinking I would have just had to ask someone again to hotspot to me just so I could book an Uber, but I didn't seem to have to do that. The roaming worked for that, but just wasn't working for my maps, and got myself back to my apartment. So that was a really interesting start to my trip. Then a few days before, the person that I was meeting here in LA, I had a dream about her. And I had a dream that Spirit gave me very, very clearly where her and I were painting sunflowers. And Spirit told me to tell her that she needs the sunflower energy and she needs to eat more sunflower seeds. So I actually texted her this before I arrived in LA and to tell her. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because there's a story to this. And so then I have flown to Colorado, and we went to a restaurant. And the restaurant was a very home-style restaurant. We were the only ones in there. And we'd eaten our food. And this young woman walks in who knows the restaurant owners, and her T-shirt, I'll share this on my stories, telling the story later on this week, so that everyone can see the T-shirt. She was wearing a T-shirt with hand-painted sunflowers. I mean, the T-shirt was so bold and so obviously a sign that the person that I was with looked at me and her jaw dropped, and we both looked at each other because we had never met each other before in person, and it was like total validation that Spirit was like, we gave Gaia this message for you, lady. So it was amazing. And then I ended up finding the Colorado quartz on the side of the road, and it's just been a very magical trip. So I really can't wait when I can reveal to you why I'm actually here, but I am here for work. And why I said that, mentioned the Monday mantra from last week before I fully recap is that I am here because I am very, very passionate about what I do and what I do for my clients and what I create. And so last week we were breaking free in many ways because this April energy starts with positive changes and passions being reawakened in general life. So this first week that we had was really important to change any conformity, to go with the flow, letting rigid ways loosen. So I really had to go with the flow last week because I'm somewhere new, doing things on my own. And I had to really relinquish all expectations because I knew that I was coming here because I have been called to come here spiritually, and because there's just more that needs to be done, and it's coming from a place of passion. And I'm doing them because I want to do them, not because I have to do them, which changes the energy of everything. So last week you were being asked to really discover what your passions are and what you can work on to see results that accumulate. Because remember, like even why I'm here in America, whatever I'm doing here is going to be a cumulative effect for whenever it's meant to turn into anything, if it's meant to turn anything. But there are no expectations because I'm just doing it because I'm passionate about it. So your belief in yourself to complete tasks or missions are being supported with the energy of Mother Earth and helping you create these future plans based on the space of feeling supported, doing it from a place of love, doing it from a place of passion. The full moon did have me feeling quite out of sorts because obviously it was mixed in with jet lag and time zone changes because I'd been to Malaysia just a few days, come back from Malaysia to New Zealand a few days before this trip. So all your expectations that do not serve you and all your sabotaging, overthinking thoughts were being released during the full moon, whether you were conscious of it or not. And it was to restore the balance where you've been trying to control things. Because I definitely noticed that with me, and had to, I was writing about it even in my Airbnb to release it with the full moon. As we moved through the week, the card that came up for you with the digital oracle deck was grounded. So I know, because I'm literally up in the air a lot at the moment with flying, your passions keep you grounded. When you're doing what you're meant to be doing, there is no need for an elevated ego because you're just doing what you're meant to be doing. And you are just being yourself, walking your path. The lead up to this full moon may have had you in your head, like I mentioned, but when you connect to your heart and to your feet, this is the grounding energy to give you that sense of peace, that you're breaking free from the expectations of yourself and not what others will think of you. Your passions are for you and to be shared in some cases, but not exclusively to be recognized, although that may come with the territory of what you do. And the self-imposed restrictions was something that you can look back on and have a look at. They were really being balanced out over that full moon period, and it may have brought up feelings of anxiety, perhaps impatience, irritability, insecurity, but underneath it all, you are coming home to yourself, really being authentically who you are. So be grounded in who you are and your passions. None of us are better than one another. We are just all on our own journey, and this is the time to grow roots as strong as the oak tree and feel secure on your path. So this is why I put up the oak and ivy and oak tonic healing meditation. That meditation, that energy was given to me while I was in Malaysia through Burlese, the shamanic spirit guide. And so it was to prepare us for this energy of this couple of weeks that we're in the first 2 weeks of April. And I'm not sure whether you saw in my stories, but it was the morning of me leaving to America, where I was just in the kitchen doing my normal things, taking all my beverages and my supplements. And I don't know how, I didn't go outside. I was just from the bedroom to the kitchen. There was the praying mantis on my shoulder. And because I saw something green at the corner of my eye, and I looked at my shoulder and I was like, oh, what are you doing here? So I walked to the bathroom. I was like, to my partner, can you just grab him and put him outside? And so that's when I shared the meaning. And then a lot of you messaged saying we've been seeing praying mantis everywhere. So it was also a sign for you too. And following your passions can take you to places you never imagined. And this is why when you find out why I'm here, there is a part of me that's going, wow, I'm so, so glad I followed my intuition, I followed my passion, because it's brought me here to this experience in America. So many things can happen for you when you follow your passion. It's just important that you know what it is and don't have any expectations around it. So how and what have you done towards your passion this week? How have you needed to be grounded in who you are? What is the balance required to feel safe in being who you want to be, which is more of being more of who you are? Like for me, having to be grounded this week is people will sometimes give you all this feedback about you. And I just take it in one year and push it out the other, because I am just a person following my passions. I'm not asking to be put on any type of pedestal, but when you are in certain positions, this is why I said earlier, sometimes it comes with your territory where there's a certain level of recognition for what you do. So as we move into this week, please remember, I'm still working while I'm here. So if you need anything, if you need an emergency session, mini reading, soul magic, personalized meditations are an amazing way for you to receive energy, personalized guidance from me, to heal and truly align with what you're wanting to heal or what you are wanting in general. I've created personalized meditations for people who have lost loved ones, who are wanting to have babies, wanting career alignment, financial abundance, and some of you have requested several personalized meditations to build your whole library. If you need to renew your app or become an app member, it's only $60 a year. And for all of these things, you email Karen at soul33@gmail.com, or just go to soul33.com, which is the website. Have a look on the site. It's upgraded quite regularly, especially the media page with different resources for you, and have a look through there. But Karen is the person that is on the other side of the emails. Going into this week, I'm supported to take sacred steps in my life. I am supported to take sacred steps in my life. My week starts out very fascinating. And again, I will share with you when I'm able to share with you what it is. But it's definitely about sacred steps in my life. Now, in the second week of April, it's a very sacred season at the moment, because every 33 years, Easter, Ramadan, and Passover coincide based on the lunar and solar calendars, making this a very sacred time of transition for all. So after our full moon last week, it's really time to bring about a new hobby or one that has not been actively pursued in a while, still connected to your passion. So I was thinking about this for me. Obviously, we look with curiosity with the Monday mantras. We create from the Monday mantras. We look back and review with the Monday mantras. So for me, I'm going to be doing some things that I've never done before. So I'm thinking that I will discover new passions and new hobbies from the week that I have ahead. But I'll let you know what happens with the week after. There is real support and backing for you to express yourself, taking last week's passion and turning it into beauty in your life. So how can you make your life beautiful this week? Because remember, those who are celebrating Passover, Ramadan, because Easter, I didn't talk about Easter last week because it's obviously Easter Friday and then it goes for the whole weekend. I did something really amazing on Sunday, which I will tell you about next week once I've had that full energy integrated with me. And it was a beautiful experience, and it's going to carry through. So how can you make your life more beautiful? There's also a collective sense of being renewed. This is because of that sacred time at the moment. So post the full moon, hope and faith is being restored. So putting worries aside, healing them, see yourself as a partner to yourself. So not looking to your partner to support you, treating yourself like the partner. And rather than looking externally for partnerships, how can you speak to yourself? How can you support yourself? How can you take the journey within and celebrate your life? There are delights that await you, and when you begin to see that separation is an illusion, center and align your soul and self to be one this week. Center your soul and self to be one this week, really in alignment. If you believe in angels, call upon Archangel Michael this week. He is there as a spiritual warrior to help you. So a really sacred week. there's a sacred essence of the angels coming in to support you, reminding you that you are supported. So you could be seeing even more signs apart from the praying mantises. For me, the amazing crystal that I found, messages that I've been hearing from people around me, including the immigration officer who was so receptive as to why I'm actually here in America. And they don't normally go into their personal selves, you know. She was so excited. So you are being asked to make your life beautiful by looking at the experiences this week as sacred lessons and making choices that delight you. Your Monday mantra is, I am supported to take sacred steps in my life. I am supported to take sacred steps in my life. I am here for you. If you need anything at all, please contact Karen at soul33@gmail.com. Please don't forget to share, tag, subscribe, renew, like, all of the things that help me grow this platform for you. Sending you so much love and support from me. You guys are amazing for being here and focusing on your ascension and your spiritual growth. Do your homework, add to your playlists, add to your favorites, and really know that your spiritual journey is what will change everything in your life. To have these amazing experiences that I have in my life, like meeting the people that I've met, and I can tell you all about them when I'm allowed to. Sending you hugs, support, and all of that. I will be in touch again next Monday with more updates. Take care. Bye.